Good evening, popular astronomers. It's Friday night. It is Vicky, and I'm broadcasting from home. How is my Wi-Fi? Oh my gosh, if you are new to the show, you will know my trials and tribulations. Why is it saying that nobody's viewing? Is there anybody there? Give me some viewing figures and say hello, people. 13 people, that's it. We're on. Ha ha. Straight out the trap, says Panic. Good evening, popular astronomers. I am broadcasting from home. We got our internet installed here, and somehow, miraculously, it's on 50 megs. They said we were only going to get 20, and now it's on 50. So, how are you on this goodest of Good Fridays? Oh, Brendan, Wi-Fi is good. That is what I needed to hear, because the last time it was supposed to have been fixed, it was I took a chance and did the show from up here, and it was similar to watching CFAX. So hopefully this is going to mark the end of my being a wild rover. Right, okay, so how are you this evening? Let's do a big loop-the-loop around the galactic core in a big heart shape. It's Pop Astro Live, the hottest astronomy show in the known universe. On our show this week, we have got a love story. Our guest is Martin Whipp from Lime Tree Observatory. He's telling the story of how the team there lovingly rescued and restored a monster 24-inch reflector telescope built by John Wall in the 1970s. I can see the comments like going past my face at the side of the screen. At the time, it was the world's largest amateur telescope. John Wall was also the inventor of the Crayford Eyepiece Mount. So we're going to learn a good bit of astronomy history tonight. Human supernova Eleni will be here presenting the space news. And if you remember last week, we asked whether she would perform the news standing on her head. Let's see you do that, Chris Lintott. How long can she hold a headstand for whilst giving us a quasar-blast of the latest news? And then Sonia has our observing forecast and a really interesting presentation on how we date Easter, and it's to do with the moon. And right at the heart of this cosmic maelstrom is me, Vicky Duncalf. I've finally got very, very strong domestic Wi-Fi, so no visits to the spooky old launderette, which was haunted by the astronomer royal Martin Rees, if you remember that. No interruptions from curious tourists sticking their nose in, and hopefully no butterflies that are going to wake up. Do you remember that poor butterfly that I woke up and killed? 3-second silence for the butterfly. So Cosmo the telescope sloth has been on his travels, but is very glad to finally be back home in his own little bedroom. But something really weird has happened to Cosmo, and I need to show it you in a little bit. We have also got a special guest, and you are not allowed to know who it is until right near the end. So stay tuned if you want to see someone utterly fantastic who we've had on before and who is back again by popular demand. So plug the mug. Ha ha ha. Hooray for strong Wi-Fi. Let's have a look. There we go. Let's have a look at the comments. Hooray for strong. You're telling me, Dave. You are telling me. Honestly, it has been a real labour of love for me to have to go down to those stables every Friday night. And do you know what was so lovely is I've got my Friday nights back. I could cook a leisurely supper. I didn't ruin the seafood. I made a seafood gumbo tonight, and I have a history of ruining very expensive ingredients. And this time I followed the recipe, I measured the quantities, and I did the correct timings. And do you know what? For some reason, that seems to work. I don't know why. So I've had loads of spare time to make food, clean up as I was going along, wash up at the end of it, a little bit of time to do a voice warm-up and a meditation before the show, rather than panicking and throwing all my gear out into a storm like I usually do. Hi, Vernon, thank you. Looking forward to tonight. Good signal. Thank you so much, Vernon. Thank you for your lovely comments. Liam, hello. Super great to be watching tonight. Few dropouts for me, but only a fraction of a second each time. Hope it stays good. It better him in had, tell you. Good evening, David Graham. Thank you for all your lovely pictures and observing tips. Martin Willock, hello. Thank you so much for coming on and recommending our guest. It was you who recommended him, wasn't it? Clear as a bell, a ding dong bell. Neil Sanders is on from Go Stargazing. Neil, good to see you. Oh. Hello. I think your picture quality is better than normal. So what happened, right? Because we're on this holiday park and the internet is eked out via the masts. And the communal masts only have 5 meg each, and they have to do multiple caravans and lodges. And the guys came and fitted it on Tuesday and said to us, well, there you go. It might be capped at about 16 or 17, but it should be around 20 up and 20 down on the Wi-Fi. So off they went. And there's me thinking, well, I only need 5 for my stream. I only need 5 megs. And when they went, I got my LAN cable. That stands for local area network. I've been doing internet this week. Local area network cable. And plugged in the cable because you've got to plug in the cable for this software. It's not like Zoom. And you know what? It went up to 50. It went up to 50. And every single day I've tested the strength of the internet on the cable to see the speed of it. And it's like remained at 50. So there's some kind of tear in the matrix that's giving me 50 megs when I go direct. And it's like, I swear. And you know what? The guys said to me, what do you want your router to be called? And I said, well, it's completely going to change my life. It's going to mean that I can broadcast whenever I want and do as many live streams as I want, because I could only do one a week, a proper one like this. And these are my trade now, these live streams are. And it's going to mean that I can go and do space broadcasts as and whenever I want. And so you know what we've called the router? It's called the Keys to the Universe. Come up with a better router name than that. So thank you, everybody. Greetings. It's great. 50. I know, yeah, 50. It's big, isn't it? A few dropouts here too, but nothing bad. Why is that happening? You're just going to have to live with it, I'm afraid. I can't do anything else about it now. I've prayed to the internet gods. Right, okay. So let us know what you've seen in the sky this week. Share the video, please, everybody. It says there's 55 people watching this. Yeah, last week we only had like 13 shares. So please share the video. We're all volunteers at the Society, and it really helps us get our numbers up. It helps with our Facebook algorithms. Share multiple times throughout the stream. Go and share it on YouTube, on Facebook and Twitter. Please share, and share alike. Now, I don't think I've seen much exciting stuff in the sky myself, but I'm going to show Paul Sutherland's incredible video, which now I'm a big fan of mirages and I'm a big fan of sunrises. And wow, you need to see what Paul got. So Paul, hopefully you don't mind. I'm going to show your video of the sunrise. Where is it? Right, let's have a look. Screen share. Can we do it? Right. Okay. Let's see if we can play this now. Okay, watch this. This sun, I think it's a sunrise. I don't think it's the moonrise. The sunrise rises in a mirage called the Fata Morgana, which is one of my favorite ever mirages. I live on the coast and it's a weird distorting mirage. And I think it was the one that was responsible for that ship that was seen floating above the horizon. So are you ready for this? It's great. It made me rub my thighs a little bit. Look at that. Oh, jellyfish or what? Look at it. It's the moon. It's not the sun. I'm sorry. Check your source details, Vicky. That's definitely the moon. So not only is it a moonrise, a full moonrise, it rises through a mirage. I'm going to rewind that. Watch it go. Look at that. Oh, yes. That is just so good, Paul. A stunning bit of photography. Well done, and thank you so much. So a Fata Morgana, I'm going to get rid of that. A Fata Morgana is a complex form of superior mirage that is seen in a narrow band right above the horizon. It is an Italian term named after the Arthurian sorceress Morgane le Fay, from a belief that these mirages, often seen in the Strait of Messina, were fairy castles in the air, or shipping container ships, or false land created by her witchcraft to lure sailors to their deaths. Fata Morgana mirages significantly distort the object or objects on which they are based, often such that the object is completely unrecognizable. A Fata Morgana may be seen on land or at sea, in polar regions, or in deserts. I often see it in my own custard. It may involve almost any kind of distant object, including boats, island, and the coastline. So how good was that? That was so exciting. I love it. Okay, now we've got a guessing game for you. In the background, can you see when I go to a screen share like this? Let's see if I can do it. Can you see in the background underneath me? There's a little glimpse of something down there. It's usually where I have my backdrop. You can only see that when I go to two speakers on the screen, and you're going to get the briefest glimpses of something topical. Keep an eye on the background and see if you can guess what it is. And the first person to guess what it is wins a bracelet. It's the nearest thing I have to hand. Okay, so we are going to go over to our first guest in a moment now. It's your opportunity to see what is happening in the background of this. We are going to go over to Martin Whipp. Are you ready, Martin? In 3, 2, 1. What's in the background? Whoa, there we go. Hi, Martin.
Hey.
Hey. Oh, I like your backdrop. That's really good.
Thank you.
What is that you are sat in front of?
That is the Lime Tree Observatory.
Wow, and
it's a beautiful sunny afternoon here, and it's nothing to do with green screen at all. It's
so tell us.
I'm sat in my loft.
Oh, don't ruin it. I'm sat in. I've got. I've
yours is a proper screen. Mine's a green tablecloth.
I know. I invested £12 to get a backdrop with spelling mistakes on it. It's got the Magellan cloud on it. So, Martin, who are you?
All the Southern Sky.
Tell us, the Southern Sky, that's definitely why it was cheap on Amazon. It's somehow managed to make its way over to the Northern Hemisphere and get sold on our Amazon. So, Martin, who are you? Tell us a little bit more about who you are and where you are.
Right, my name's Martin Whipp. I have been a member of the York Astronomical Society for coming on 30 years now. I know, I don't look old enough. But more recently, I've been involved with the Lime Tree Observatory. Now, Lime Tree Farm is in a little village called Grulthorpe, which is near Ripon, North Yorkshire. I suppose the nearest biggish place, is Harrogate, if you don't know the area. And the owner there, Mr. Peter Foster, I've known him, best part of 25 years. And as you've already mentioned about the big telescope, which we'll come on to, members of the York Astronomical Society rescued it about 8-9 years ago now. And we took it up to Lime Tree Farm, and this is why there is now an observatory there, and I'm one of the volunteers. Some would say I'm the director, but I don't like that term. I'm one of the volunteers. I'm just a busy one, that's all.
Oh, excellent. So you've come on this evening to talk about a labour of love. Tell us about your labour of love.
Right, so John Wall, let me just show you a picture here. That one there, are you getting that?
Let's have a look.
There we go. Right, so John Wall, sadly, we lost him a couple of years ago. John Wall was an instrument maker. He worked for Vickers Crayford, down in Crayford in Kent. And in his lifetime, he made many things. He made over 50 telescopes in his lifetime, but also he was a bit of an inventor. He did a lot of experiments as well. But obviously, his telescopes are the sort of main thing that's of our interest. The thing that makes him famous in astronomical circles is that he invented the Crayford focuser. Now, those of you who are familiar with a rack and pinion focuser, you've got a little toothed gear on your focusing wheel, and you've got a little strip of teeth, and you turn the wheel, and in and out goes your focus. Now, that's okay, but if you want it to be accurate and smooth, you need to get rid of those teeth if you can. So John came up with an idea that he would get rid of all the toothed gear part of it and do it with smooth roller bearings and friction instead. I'm just going to stop sharing that and find another picture. You'll have to bear with me.
Every time you do a screen share, people get a glimpse of the image in the background. I was searching for background images today, and I thought that's really going to flummox them. What could it possibly be in the background? And the clue is it's very topical. Okay, here we go. Right.
Again. Yeah.
You're going to get a split second in the background. Here it comes. Oh, it's gone.
It was a split second. Right, so that's your standard rack and pinion focuser, and so John wasn't particularly happy with that design. It's not very accurate. So he started to do a few drawings. He was a draftsman, and these are his original drawings for the Crayford focuser. And that is the original. Now, it's a big old chunky thing, but what we're looking at now, over 50 years ago that he actually invented it. But long story short, he gave this idea to the world as a free idea. Because he worked for Vickers, they had one of those contracts where if you invented anything while you were working for them, they basically had the rights to the patent if you chose to patent it. And he didn't want to do that. So he wrote an article in the BAA journal. He wrote an article in Sky and Telescope magazine and basically put it out there as a good idea. And it's something that anyone with a little bit of engineering knowledge can manufacture themselves. I mean, it's basically, as you can see there, it's just a pinion with a dial on the end of it and a couple of little roller bearings. It's very easy to make. But the upshot of it now is that any telescope about £200 or more has probably got a Crayford focuser on it because it's a superior design and it's easy to make. So that's John's sort of gift to the world, if you like, and that's what made him so famous. I'm just bringing
that's really nice.
Yeah,
that's really, really nice. So the story has been continued. What other involvement have you had with John?
Right, well, let me find my next picture. Sorry, I'm glancing sideways at my other monitor.
That's fine. That is fine.
So John, like I say, made loads and loads of telescopes in his time, but the one that he spent the most time on was the 24-inch. It took him the best part of a decade to make. He made it entirely by himself, including grinding the mirror. Now, grinding a mirror, maybe 6, 7, 8 inches is quite easy to do. You have two essentially flat pieces of glass, you put grinding paste between them, and you push and you rotate and you push and you rotate and you keep on doing that. Now, you can't do that with a 24-inch mirror because of the weight of it. You're going to end up like Popeye, you know, it's going to take you a long, long time. So John made a contraption out of all bicycle parts that did the mirror grinding himself, itself. And even then, it still took 2 years just to polish the mirror. In the meantime, he was designing all the rest of it, and he made it out of a lot of bits that he had lying around. Now, of course, there's some bits that he had to buy, but it was very thrifty. And if you were to see the telescope close up, there's old pulley wheels on it. There is a drum brake from a Morris Oxford. There's some counterweights on it, which are made out of old beer cans with concrete in them. So, you know, he was a man about, he was about making telescopes big, but cheaply as well. So, yeah, as you mentioned, when he finished it in 1977, it was the biggest telescope in the world. Sorry, biggest amateur telescope in the world. Since been superseded many, many times over. Now, members of the York Astronomical Society got in touch with him, specifically Martin Whipp. He was our secretary at the time. Hello, Martin.
We had Martin on. Hi, Martin. We had Martin on a few weeks ago, and he recommended you. So that was a really nice little
very good of him.
There.
He says we're old friends, but he can speak for himself. He's twice my age.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, so this is the inside of the York Astronomical Society's observatory. That is a 12-inch A.E. Luton telescope that used to belong to Arnold Wolfendale, the Astronomer Royal. It then went to Sunderland Astronomical Society, and eventually we got it. In the foreground, you've got a standard EQ6 with a 10-inch Meade on it. Now, when we got that 12-inch Luton, it was in Cassegrain mode. You used to be able to put... can you see my pointer on the back of it? I don't know if you can. Yes, you just about can.
Oh, yeah.
There used to be the focuser on the end of there, but I don't know if you can tell, but this observatory is made out of a shipping container. So it's only 8 foot wide, and the roof slides back. So we needed to make it into Newtonian mode, which gives you the the eyepiece on the side so it's easier to use. And that was when we got in touch with John Wall, because of course he's Mr. Crayford, he's the focuser man, and he made us a focuser specifically for that telescope. So that's how we got to know him. Now, in 2012, John got in touch with us and he said the Crayford Manor House Observatory, which is where the 24-inch telescope was, is under threat. Now, he was particularly worried because he'd previously made a 36-inch telescope, not as good as the 24. He only spent a couple of years on it, but he gave that to the Crayford Society, and unfortunately, they immediately sold the optics and scrapped the rest of it. And John was understandably very annoyed by that. So he was really worried when the 24-inch potentially came under threat. Basically, the local council said they were redeveloping the area and please could you pick up your observatory and move it elsewhere. Now, you don't just move a 1-ton telescope. So this was when members of the York Astronomical Society went down and started dismantling it. That's my friend John and Rupert from the Astro Society in York. Both with very big smiles on their faces because we had no idea what we were about to undertake. It took us 2 days to dismantle it and about another 2 years to get it back together again. We cut the dome in half and took that back with us and started building the observatory up in Grulthorpe. A little bit of a sideline here. This all happened in 2012, September. I got married a month later, so of course I was a little bit busy. But then sadly, at the end of that year, Peter, who owns the farm at Grulthorpe, had a stroke. And for a couple of years, we weren't sure which way things were going to go. He was great some days and not very well some other days. Glad to say Peter's still with us, and he's 95% the man he was. He's still got his wicked sense of humour. I hope he's watching this evening. Good evening, Peter and Irene.
Hi, Peter. Yes, Martin has been telling me about your benevolence with allowing to locate the observatory on your reserve. Is that right?
They are absolute gems.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah,
that's so sweet. I've not met them, but I love them already. And let me know if there's anything I can do to help out, because this is just my kind of thing that I really like to be involved in.
So taking the telescope apart was quite difficult because we were right next to some bowling greens, and of course getting the dome down was difficult. Putting it back together again was a lot easier because we had a tractor at our disposal. So oh, there he goes. There's Martin telling us about the special tube that we sent down to John, and he made the focuser for us. It was a 3-inch draw tube. But at the time, we think it was the biggest Crayford focuser in the world. We called it the Tyranna Crayford Rex. That was John's donation for us. And there's my background. That's the one that it is at the moment.
It's nice, isn't it?
So 2015 was the first time that the telescope was back in one piece again, actually looking like a telescope. And over the months that followed, we got the optics back in and slowly got it working. Now, it is over 40 years old and it threw up a lot of problems. It's still throwing up problems now, to be honest. Every time we fix one thing, another 2 things break on it. So, it is a bit of an old dog, but it's such a lovely heritage instrument. Now, sadly, because of John's sort of failing health towards 2018 when we lost him, he had a lot of balance issues. And sadly, he couldn't come up to actually visit Lime Tree and see the telescope in person. He followed us on Facebook. We were often ringing him while we were working on it and asking him how to do this, how to do that. And of course, he couldn't remember. It was 40 years ago. But he saw it all come to fruition. He'd initially said to us at the York Society, just save my telescope. It doesn't matter if you put it into storage, as long as you save it from going in a skip. Little did he know that we'd get it going again and the public are using it again. So, since we opened, we are coming up to our 5th anniversary. That was the first time we got light. There's Peter at the eyepiece looking at a single oak leaf about 200 yards away. Check the date, April 9th, 2016. That was the day that we finally got the optics in and working, and that happened to be our opening night as well. Talk about
what a lovely story.
Yeah. And since then we've had over 2,000 people through the door, and things are going from strength to strength.
Yay, that's such a lovely little local story with such massive significance. It warms my cockles, and I'm sure all the popular astronomers watching this will give you the full support at the Lime Street not Lime Street, that's in Liverpool, very different place. So you've got future plans for the observatory, haven't you?
Have indeed, yes. Let me just... Oh, hello.
Oh, right, look at that.
Okay.
Oh, now, you know I like this picture because we've spoke at length about this, and oh yeah. Who knows what that is? That's a beast. That is a beast.
Who remembers the Smash Martians? The potato Smash Martians.
It's a mashed potato machine.
It is. Planetarium projectors are not easy to come by. Come by. We've been lucky enough to obtain this one. It's on semi-permanent loan from the Wynyard Planetarium in Billingham. They were fortunate enough to get... Can you see the white projector in the background? The larger one? That used to be at Jodrell Bank at their planetarium.
The Jodrell Bank Planetarium was a wonder of the astronomical world, the quality of the optics, not like those kind of like pixelated digital projectors that you get. They were pin sharp and very similar to the real night sky.
Sadly, although the projector's fantastic, the roof was full of asbestos, and that's why they had to pull it down. So that's why they've gone with a digital 3D theatre instead now. So yes, the white one became surplus, and Wynyard got that, which meant that this smaller Japanese Goto projector became surplus. It sat in their loft for a couple of years now, and they've sort of bequeathed it to us, if you like. So my colleague Chris, he's the one just between me and Peter on the end there. He's the one in the puffer jacket. Some of you may recognise Jürgen from the Durham Society. They, like I say, sort of given it to us as a semi-permanent thing. And we are starting to build our own planetarium on the farm. So this is me about 18 months ago. We got the concrete down. As you can see there, we've got some steel beams that have been formed into a circle. John, again, he is a brilliant engineer. He's our John. He's been a member of the society about as long as I have. And what he's welding there is a giant hinge, because ultimately the idea was for the ring with the dome on it to tilt, because we want it to be for a digital planetarium as well as a mechanical one, so it needed to tilt. So we clad it all out with laser cut plywood. And then we were fortunate enough to get in touch with a company over in Rochdale that makes radomes. You see these military installations where you see all the big golf balls on the hill that have got radar whizzing around inside. Well, this company make those housings. And we'd approached lots of fiberglass companies all over the country saying, we're looking for a 6-metre mould. Has anyone got one? These guys came to us and said, well, ours is similar. It's 6.4, so it's close. But of course, ours are smooth on the outside. You need smooth on the inside. So we said, well, can you just sell us one of your molds? One of your segments, and we'll make it into a mold. So that's what we did. So we stuck it on the van and we brought it back to Lime Tree. There it is on the van. And then we put some edges on it so that we've got the little bits to join it all together with. There's me cleaning it. Got to be absolutely precise. And bit by bit, oh, there we go. ISS going over right now. It's cloudy. I'm in my loft and it's cloudy, sadly.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Let's have a quick look.
Oh my God, we've got a really clear sky right here. I'm going to have a look. Where is it, Liam? Which way south? South. Oh, that'd be awesome if I could see it right now. I'm trying to remember where south is. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Looking at
actually,
the
it is clear. Looking at the old developed.
We've got a lovely sky here with a lovely red blush on it. Very nice. So, hi Wendy. I know you're playing hooky. given by my fault because I didn't want to miss all of Vicky's show. Wendy gives us so much support. Thank you. You are number one fan, officially number one fan. Great. Okay, so...
Yes, so basically we used that mold and we've now made 10 segments of this, of the dome, joined it all together. There's one of the segments in the foreground. Oh, west right now. There it is. There's one of the segments in the foreground, and then I think there's another 6 or 7 pieces joined together in the background.
Can we all see the ISS? West, never east. I think I'm on the wrong side of the house. Have you got it? Oh, I think that's a star. I'm going to fall out the window if I lean out. I'm going to fall out the window if I look any harder. No, it's not in this direction. But good work, Liam. Good work. Did you see it then? Did you see it, Martin?
Just creeping out over the... I back out onto some really big gardens. There's a nursing home at the back of my house, and they've got about an acre of garden, so I've got quite a good southwest horizon.
Right, Liam's giving me more coordinates. Come on. I don't think I'm going to see it from where I am. I've got a dream catcher sticking in my face. Right, I give up. I give up. I give up.
There's worse things you can have stuck in your face.
Oh, well. Right, back to your regular... Yeah, still a little dim. There we go. Thanks, Liam. Thank you for the heads up. Great work. Yeah,
so as you can see in the band there,
wow,
we've got the mold with one of the pieces being made, and then the dome under construction in the background there. And there it is, tilted up. All health and safety protocols were followed. As you can see, we've got a block of a stack of concrete blocks with a car jack on top of it to get it up to the angle we needed. It was safer than it looks, honestly. We did have safety measures in place. But that's essentially where we've got to. We have a 6.5 meter tilted dome, and all we need to do now is build the walls around it, put the speakers in, and and get it going, basically. So that is our project.
That's going to be a brilliant astronomy tourist attraction.
Oh, it really is, yeah. I mean, of course, the nearest fixed planetarium is Wynyard up in Billingham, and that's, 40 odd miles away. So, it's quite unique in our area. Of course, there's lots of companies that have these inflatable ones that they take into schools, but of course, the general public don't get to see a fixed planetarium very often. So, yeah, we thought we wanted to build one. And I'll be honest, I am a bit of a planetarium nerd. So
me too.
I've always wanted to build one on my own. So, yeah, dream come true for me.
Great stuff. Okay, so thank you so much for that, Martin. You've got 2 amazing projects there, so thank you. Now, there was a third thing that we were going to chat about tonight, but you couldn't find the picture. Now, you work in the eyeball area, don't you? What do you do?
I do indeed, yes. I am a retinal screener, retinal imager. Anyone with diabetes needs their eyes checking once a year, and if you live in the Harrogate area, I'm the manager of the team that does it. And yes, we were discussing the other day. I had a patient a couple of months ago who mentioned that many, many years ago, he was looking at the sun through a telescope, which you should never, never do unless it has a very special filters on it. He was only a kid, and there was a partial solar eclipse, and he looked through a little small telescope. And I said, did it affect you? He says, well, no, it's not actually affected me in the long term, but he says, I do know that there's a scar back there. And sure enough, on his photograph, there was a little horizontal scar where he'd looked at it and then went quickly moved away, obviously, as the heat got him. So there was a little burn mark on his retina. Do not look at the sun through a telescope.
So in an ideal world, well, actually, it would have never happened. But in a second to best ideal world, you would have had that. You would have found that photograph with a little burn on the retina. This stuff is real. So never, ever, ever look at the sun through any form of optics, or even your own eyes, really. Good Lord.
We used to do a little experiment if we did solar observing days with the society. You know the safe way to observe the sun and sunspots, either with an expensive telescope with the correct filters on it, or project it using a telescope. one of the things that we used to do while we were projecting the sun onto a card, if you hold up a glass of water right next to the eyepiece, you actually get a little stream of bubbles. The water boils just at that point. So you can imagine the amount of heat that's coming through that eyepiece. You don't want that to happen to the fluid in your eye. So that was quite a stark demonstration.
It'd be like having an Alka-Seltzer in your eye, an Alka-Seltzer contact lens. Right then, thank you so much. Let's have a look. We'll take one question. Vernon Alexander says, how many people would the planetarium hold?
We are hoping that it'll hold about 40.
Good show, that.
The way that we're doing it is that I've got some old cinema seats. Not really old ones. They're not the 1930s tatty things. They're new enough to be comfortable, but not new enough to have cup holders. I didn't want that. Or popcorn. But we've got 8 of those that we're going to put as the sort of back row, if you like. So if anyone actually needs a seat, if they're going to struggle getting up and down off the floor, there are some actual seats. Everybody else, it's going to be cushions and beanbags on the floor. We've installed some underfloor heating, so you won't go away with a cold bum.
Oh, you need to get a cat to come and live in it.
Well, at the moment, actually, we've got a chicken that won't give up. There's every morning that I go in there, this blooming chicken is sat in the middle. It's thankfully stopped laying eggs in there now, but it was its home originally, and I feel a bit bad that this chicken's been booted out into the farm, but it's a 40-acre farm. I'm sure it can find somewhere else. But sadly, it thinks that the planetarium is still its home, and we keep finding this white chicken in there.
What a lovely story. Lovely stories all around. Martin, thank you so much. If you nip onto the Pop Astro Facebook page, you'll see there's quite a few questions there. Feel free to join in the comments and answer them.
Certainly will, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. See you soon.
Bye now.
Bye. Some absolutely wonderful projects there. Really good projects. The John Wall Telescope, the Lime Tree Oh, I should have had a coffee before I did this. I forgot to have a coffee. My mouth slows down if I don't have a coffee before the show. Okay, so it's Global Astronomy Month. Surprise! We didn't know until the last minute either. This apparently hashtag GAM 2021. It fills the entire month of April with exciting programs for astronomy enthusiasts, whether it's stargazing, sharing with the public, or the cosmos in the art. There is something for everyone. It's organized by Astronomers Without Borders. We had, oh God, I'm going to forget his blooming name now, a man from Astronomers Without Borders on. And it was a really good presentation. What the heck's his name? Duncalf, come on. It's the world's largest annual global celebration of astronomy. Each GAM brings new cosmic ideas and new opportunities. And 2021 GAM is no exception, bringing night sky enthusiasts together worldwide to celebrate Astronomers Without Borders. One people, one sky. So you can go onto their website and join in Global Astronomy Month. Okay. Yes, Sandra, also well done. You got it right. It was Easter Island in the background. I've changed it to something different now, but congratulations. Very intuitive thinking there. It's not really something that you see every day, is an overhead picture of Easter Island. Okay, now, if you're new to the show, you will know that I have a little, I'm going to have to open the window, excuse me. It's lovely twilight here. There's a nice red blush on the horizon. I think that means that it's going to be quite a nice day tomorrow, hopefully. You will know that I've got a little cuddly sloth called Cosmo who jets off around the solar system and the universe, and he plays a guessing game. He whispers in my ear, and you have got to guess where he's been. Well, something's happened to Cosmo. I don't really know what to say, actually. For fans of Cosmo, you're going to have to prepare yourselves, brace yourselves. Cosmo has had a little accident somewhere along the way and transmogrified into AstroTurf. He's gone somewhere in the universe and come back as Astro the Bunny, but it's actually AstroTurf. So, yeah, it's still got Cosmo's voice. Where have you been, Astro? Astro? Guessing game. Okay, yeah, I'm going to read you out 3 clues. That's what we're going to do, isn't it? The green hairs come off this thing. They're blooming horrible. AstroTurf the rabbit, formerly Cosmo, the telescope sloth, is going to whisper in my ear 3 clues. Now hold back until I've read out all 3 before you type the answer so we can give people's brains a proper workout. Okay. On this place, it's like I'm on a rabbit telephone. Cute, I know, AstroTurf. Thank you. Astronomers Without Borders is the best, and it is great, isn't it? I want to get involved in it, actually. Martin is saying, we are hoping to open the planetarium to the public in October. Sadly, COVID has slowed us down a lot. Sorry about that. Okay, AstroTurfs are available at your local Tesco, by the way, probably on offer as of tomorrow morning. So Astro has been somewhere very, very, very cold. There are striking large bands across this unusual place, more than 12 miles wide, often with dark, diffuse outer edges and regular striations. So it's stripy. That's your first clue. Now, oh, wow. Now, there's enough radiation on the surface to kill a human after just 1 day on the surface. So it's very radioactive, this place is, or it's not radioactive. It gets a lot of radiation. And what's the third clue? AstroTurf the rabbit has been larking about with ice skates. It's the smoothest surface anywhere in the solar system. So there's large bands running across it. There's enough radiation to kill a human after a day on the surface. And it's the smoothest object in the solar system other than my slick presentation skills. So where would that be? First person to guess correctly in the comments wins. Ooh, Tim J. Crook, you are wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong. My feet are, high mark. Where has AstroTurf the rabbit been? This is a very little cute, festive Easter scene, isn't it? Sonia is coming on shortly to tell us about how we calculate the date of Easter. I've had a look at the presentation and it's even tougher than I originally thought it was. Well done to everybody who is saying Europa. It is Europa, one of the Galilean satellites orbiting Jupiter. It's the 6th closest moon to the planet, and it's the 6th closest to the planet of all the 79 known moons of Jupiter. It's also the 6th largest moon in the solar system. Well done to everybody who's got it right there. Well done, well done. Right. When I see you next, you had better have turned back into a sloth. Okay. AstroTurf the rabbit, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we're going over to Eleni now. This next section is going to be bizarre. Are you ready for it? Last week, we challenged Eleni and said, do you reckon you could present the space news standing on your head? So let's go over to her. Hey!
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me all right?
We can hear you, baby. How are you today?
I'm okay. I realized that my biggest problem is going to be that I won't be able to move my hands while I talk. So that's going to be very interesting for me. I've got my speaker here as well. So hopefully when I go upside down, you should be able to hear everything I say clearly. But if anything happens, just tell me. I could still be able to hear you.
Eleni, can you give us some tips for standing on your head for a prolonged amount of time? What do we need to do?
Don't be afraid.
Oh yeah. Don't be afraid
and try it, and just be close to a wall like I will be as well, because it's gonna be a long time. So if I get tired, then I can just put touch my toes on the wall for some stability. But yeah, that's it really.
Right, now let me see. Do I start the slides? Let me see if I can get the slideshow up.
Cool. Yeah, do that, and then I will go upside down.
This is a challenge to the sky at night. We are laying down the challenge. They have got to do something even more audacious than presenting the news from on their head. Chris Lintott, I want to see you doing cartwheels. Right, let me have a look. Where is my screen share gone? I will press that button. I will press share screen, and then I will press Chrome, and then I will press that one. Maybe it might work. Then
so
maybe
I can put that a bit larger as well, so I can see. Yeah, that's good. Okay, here we go.
Here she goes.
Hi everyone, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, So we're starting up today with a study that basically shows that satellites actually contribute more light pollution than previously believed. So the study was published on 29th of March, and it was a bit of a surprise because the predicted levels of light pollution actually were about 10% higher than the natural light levels, which is a lot. And it's a problem, right? It's a very big problem. It's a problem for both optical and radio astronomy, ground-based astronomy, of course. And it was a surprise to a lot of people, but it has been an increasing worry for astronomers over the past couple of decades. So hopefully this study should allow for a more constructive dialogue between satellite operators and astronomers. Because it's going to be bad for astronomy if this light pollution level actually increases. So fingers crossed. I cannot cross my fingers right now, but I can give you a crossed toe. I don't know if you can see. No, it's okay. Right,
there we go.
Slide.
Next slide. Oh, hang on. That one. Oh, wow.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
look at that.
We have a study on Uranus, which reminds me that whenever I actually do astronomy at a school and I say Uranus, there is a giggle from everybody. But let's be adults here. I'm saying that upside down, so you cannot really take me very seriously. So this study actually was released on the 31st of March. And we all know that Uranus is an ice gas giant, the seventh planet from our namaste to Karen from our solar system. And the study actually revealed that Uranus is quite bright in X-rays. Now, part of it is expected because this behavior is seen in both Jupiter and Saturn. So they are both quite bright in X-rays when it comes to their rings, because the rings actually scatter solar X-rays. So that part of the story is understood. However, there is potentially one other source of X-rays in Uranus, which is unidentified. So that's the exciting part. Right, one potential source could be the auroras of the planet. How cool is that? Now, the auroras of Uranus are actually poorly understood. So once we actually decipher the X-ray problem or the X-ray mysterious source in Uranus, we might be closer to understanding this fascinating planet, which I thought was really cool. The image we see is a composite. The blue part is in the optical, and the pink is X-rays from Chandra Observatory, which is an X-ray observatory. Whew, this is interesting. Okay, next slide will be my last, and then I can come down.
Oh my God, I love the way that you're doing such in-depth news. Right, there we go.
Okay, so sadly, no auroras this weekend. It was the longest part of my presentation, actually preparing that X, going through that. I don't even know why, but it took me about like 2 minutes to actually get the lines the way I liked. So yeah, sadly, no auroras this weekend. However, there is this gorgeous picture that I cannot pronounce the name. Violetta, I hope that's okay. Took on the 31st of March in Iceland, and it's absolutely stunning, right? Because there is an aurora and there is a volcanic eruption that are both being reflected by the Blue Lagoon at the same time. And I thought that's like, wow, super amazing picture. So that's me. And now I'm coming down.
Whoa!
Whoa! Wow!
How was it for you?
Interesting. It was okay. I kept wanting to fiddle with my hands and do thumbs up and fingers crossed. But yeah, I have to say it good. But yeah, I hope it was okay for people. I know I was a bit short of breath, but being upside down trying to present news can make you short of breath sometimes.
I think you kept your composure beautifully.
Perfect. As long as everyone understood what I was presenting, my mission is complete.
And Sandra says, big round of applause for Eleni. Well done, you. Even the rabbit's cheering. Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's keep the challenges to a minimum for a couple.
I was going to say, let's think of more challenges. We'll think of something. Don't you worry.
Oh, bring it on. I like being upside down. It's okay.
Very good. Very good. Thank you so much, and see you next week.
See you next week, guys. Have a lovely Easter, everyone.
Thank you. Yes, to you too, especially. Bye.
Bye.
Wow, she's such a great sport, isn't she? That was so much fun. Let's have a banner scrolling. I've got loads of banners here to choose from. Let's have a look. There we go. Keep looking up with the SPA, the UK's National Astronomy Society membership of very, very, very reasonable £23 a year, with meetings when we're allowed back out. Not had news about my jab yet. Could really do with hearing about that. Exclusive content and a glorious magazine every 2 months. The nearest magazine that I've got to me is a copy of Viz. But that's the wrong magazine, so I can't show that, can I? If I went all the way over there, I could get the magazine, but I'd rather not. Okay, 3 comments. What's happening? Yeah, top that then. A hard act to follow. Can't really do much better than standing on my head, can I? Could do star jumps. They're astronomical. Okay, so next up. Okay. A new lovely feature for you all, like the way we're all dead obsessed with space, right? In it. Who's got a cosmic pet? Now, this is Astro the rabbit. We've got Cosmo the telescope sloth. And we're going to have a new feature, providing we get enough entries, called Space Pet of the Week. Now, I know, oh my gosh, Lucinda Offer, is it? Has got 2 pets, 2 massive cats, called Hubble and Copernicus, I do believe the cats are called. And I can't think of any more. If you have got a pet with a cosmic name, or indeed you own an animal that has been into space at any point, landed on another planet, send it in to us and we will feature it. So I'm going to introduce to you my friend's dog. I don't know what dog it is, but it's a dog. Where's it gone? Oh no, I bet it's gone. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so my friend in Australia has got a puppy. And let me show you it. How do I do this blooming screen share now? Screen share. Video file, stop screen. Oh, hang on a minute. The screen share on this thing is the bane of my life. Okay, Chrome tab. Are you ready to see? This is Astro, the puppy. Isn't it the cutest puppy? Isn't it the best name? I'm sorry, yeah. I'm a little bit gooey for puppies. I would like a dog at some point. So if you've got a cute little puppy dog or a cat or a goldfish named after Einstein, that'd be a great name for a goldfish. Einstein. If you've got a goldfish called Einstein or a cichlid called Copernicus, do let us know and join in the fun. I don't know where you can send it to. Have we got an email address for these such larks? Right. Okay. Let's have a look. Sandra Grace. She's got 2 cats called Nova and Luna. Really, really nice. What a brilliant broadcast of things this society does to bring us such sights. Thank you, Jed. Yeah. Thank you. I know, Astro Puppy. Sandra, so this feature doesn't fall flat on its backside. Can you send me images of these 2 creatures and we'll feature them next week, please? Thank you. Right, okay. What's Paul saying? Robin has got a cat called Kepler. Can't believe I didn't put my phone on mute. Schoolgirl error. Smack on the wrist there. Has Robin got a cat called Kepler? Robin's got a cat called Kepler. Robin's got a cat called Kepler. Did you know that the K sound is meant to be the most comedic sound of all? That's why comedy begins with a K, probably. Because it's the funniest word. Let's have a look at Robin's cat called Kepler. Very good, very good. Right, okay, that was Astro Pet of the Week. And now we are going over to Sonia in 3, 2, 1. Here she
Hello.
is. My favourite girl. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you, Vicky?
Oh, it's always so lovely to see you.
Oh, and Meaty says hello as well.
Hello from AstroTurf the Rabbit.
Just bear me 1 moment. So I may still have a very cute kitty on my sofa. If I can go.
Have you got a cat?
My neighbour's cats, they love to wander in the house, and she sat and she came on the sofa. Let me see if she's there.
Go, let's have a look. Martin sent me his cat. Let's have a look. I've got a picture of a cat here on my phone. Let's have a look. WhatsApp. Clark Rogers. Clark Rogers. This is the cat that lives in the lime tree. Not the cat. That is blatantly a chicken. That's Cluck Rogers in the 25th century and a half that lives in the Lime Tree Observatory. Aww.
Oh, so this is Katie, and I just love her eyes. Look at the screen. Look here.
They are lovely.
There you go.
Rabbit.
Oh, no.
Rabbit.
No,
Rabbit.
no.
Rabbit.
Rabbit.
She's a babe.
Lovely.
She's a babe. So, Sonia, what have you been up to, my love?
Oh, I didn't think I'd make it on time today. We fine, go on. We left for a walk at 9:30, and we didn't get back till 2:30, 3 o'clock. So I quickly had to do the presentation. Then I promised I'd make a carrot cake for the weekend, and then I quickly did the weather forecast.
Well done, Sonia. Well done for fitting it all in.
Oh,
should we go straight to your presentation?
We can do, yes. I don't know where the keys are. She's wanting to go out. Hang on.
So Naga Munchetti doesn't have to deal with cats in the studio, does she? Sonia, you're okay to remain upright. Yeah, she has made a carrot cake though, so that absolves her of all duty.
Right, there we go. We'll shove out the front one.
Right, are you ready to go to the presentation?
Yeah, we shall go and talk about the Easter moon.
Okay, so share screen again. I lose sleep over this screen share. Presentation, Pop Astro. I think this is you. Oh no, that's Eleni's. Share screen, Chrome tab, present. I think we might have it. How's that? Is it on?
There we go. Absolutely loved it. I found this photo. I thought that is such a fitting front cover for a presentation with what we're going to talk about this evening. I didn't actually know this either. I only knew about this when you actually mentioned it the other week, Vic. I'm like, that is really interesting of how the moon and the Easter. Yeah. So the Easter, next slide.
You love saying that, don't you?
I know. I blame Chris Whitty. Next slide, please.
You know he gets off on that.
Oh, I know, yes. So do I now.
The power that you have got to control my finger.
Yes, I will.
Go on, my finger is waiting for you.
Oh, so Easter will fall on the Sunday after the full moon, which is also known as the Paschal moon. And Paschal refers to the passage of the god of the Passover, which is when the Israelites left Egypt. Usually it's on or after 21st of March. And so this is why it varies each year with Easter, because it varies on when the full moon is, which we only just had on the 28th of March, which means Easter will be this weekend. However, it's the earliest March we can have is the 22nd, and the latest of the being the 25th. We don't have it as early as the 21st because by I can't say it, ecclesiastical, is that how you pronounce it?
I guess it's ecclesiastical.
With the rules of the vernal equinox, because the equinox is the March 21st, it's a fixed date, so we can never have Easter as early as that. And the ecclesiastical, I hate this word, really do.
Ecclesiastical.
Ecclesiastical is the hierarchy of the church. So it's the clergy that have decided this is when we're going to have Easter and this is the fixed date. So, but if you had the full moon on the Sunday, then it'd be the following Sunday. It would be Easter. You would never have Easter on the same day as a full moon.
Oh, I did not know that.
No, I did a lot of research and Googling today to become this presentation for everybody. I was been sat here for a couple of hours to try and get this together.
Oh, thank you.
I did a little. I've done a little. I don't know if everyone can see that spreadsheet. So that's going back to the early 17th century of when they had Easter on those days. And you've got the Julian calendar and the Gregorian calendar. I was trying to get my head around the Gregorian calendar. Did it take over the Julian calendar or something? Because something didn't match up with those calendars, so they went on to just using one calendar apparently. So next slide, please.
Oh, you just love it. There we go.
So if a good website is to go is timeanddate.com, because this is where I pulled this little paragraph from, because I've just thought it explained it a lot better than I would. So why do we have Easter in spring? So according to the Bible, Jesus Christ's death and resurrection occurred at the time of the Jewish Passover, which was celebrated on the first full moon following the vernal equinox. This soon led to Christians celebrating Easter on different dates. At the end of the 2nd century, some congregations celebrated Easter on the day of the Passover, while others celebrated it on the following Sunday. In 325 CE, the Council of, here we go again, Nicaea.
I'm going to say that.
Nicaea.
Oh, Nicaea. Oh, God.
I would put such words in here.
Spot the girls who don't go to church.
Established that Easter would be held on the first Sunday after the first full moon occurring on or after the vernal equinox. From that point forward, the Easter date depended on that word again, approximation of March 21st for the vernal equinox. There we go. Oh dear, things we do live on air.
If anyone would like to give us a phonetic spelling of, I'm going to say Nicaea, Nicaea.
Oh, it could be a Nicaea.
Nicaea to see you, Nicaea to see you, to see you, Nicaea.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So
there we go.
So very good. Are you ready? Is that your last slide, love?
Next slide. We have one more slide, which would nicely bring us onto the weather forecast then.
Oh, very good. Okay, here we go.
There we go. So because Easter, it's in between that winter and spring change. So because we've got that latitude of where the sun is, where the earth is, and we've got that bit of a transition, so it does vary. So usually we relate Christmas to having snow, and we've got spring, summer to having heat. But because we're still quite early on in that year, we can still expect snow. So I don't know if anyone remembers 2019 Easter. I remember being in the back garden and it absolutely scorching hot. And they recorded 25, I think it was in London. However, the warmest was 29.4 in London on Holy Island back in 1949. It does, however, vary as well across the world. For example, Easter in 1970 in Greater New York area. It fell on March 29th that year. It was a day that a late season snowstorm blanketed New York City with 4 inches of snow, while to the north, Westchester and Putnam counties received as much as 9 to 12 inches. However, 6 years later in 1976, when Easter Sunday occurred on April 18th, right in the middle of a 3-day stretch of what is now known in weather annuals as New York's Great Easter Heat Wave, temperatures reached at least 90 degrees. And that was the hottest day they had for Easter. But not only was it the hottest Easter on record in Gotham, it was also the very first and only time that New York had the highest temperature in the nation in Central Park. The thermometer hit a blistering 96 degrees. So it does vary everywhere. We can have a hot one, we can have a cold one. It just depends, because those latitudes of that transitional period we're going through of how the weather appears at Easter. They do say we can have a white Easter, then we can at Christmas. So there we go.
That's great, Sonia. And I tell you something. Let me just. Is that your last slide, my beautiful
That is
girl?
my last slide.
Let's have a look. Okay, and I know this from experience. Maybe not so much this year, but if you're off out delivering Easter goodies for people and it's a warm day, beware that Easter eggs do die in hot cars. Very disappointing. Oh, do you know what, Sonia? Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. I've got something
Okay.
for you. Hang on. Oh, here it comes! Here it comes! Here
This
it
is
comes!
interesting.
Oh well, it's just an excuse to eat chocolate. Now I've broke it up into pieces, but I think this is a chance for me to share my geometric Easter egg from Aldi, which is broken up.
Oh, I saw that on Facebook.
It's made of caramelized white Belgian chocolate. And do you remember what Caramax used to taste like?
Oh, I do.
Yeah, this is like exquisite luxury Caramac, and it was the last one they had on the shelf. But I can recommend it from Aldi, and it was zero plastic packaging as well. And it's like got this incredible meltiness to it.
Oh, do you know they do some really nice Easter eggs in Aldi as well? Really nice.
There was a
And they look
documentary
very exquisite as well in the packages.
There was a documentary on about Aldi the other night about how their Easter eggs, they make them exquisite in the hope that mugs like me share it on social media. What Easter eggs have you got?
Well, I've had half. Let me go get the other half.
Right, really good thick chocolate. Right, we've got a special guest coming up in a sec once we've both finished eating. Sonia is about to do her weather forecast. Get that away from me.
So I've already had half. However, I had my very local lady do me some. She's done me about 3 of them. So I've got a Biscoff cheesecake egg.
Holy cow! You win. Like an Easter egg.
And she did me a Terry's chocolate orange one and a mint aero one as well. So they are actually in the freezer then. So I don't devour anything at once. And she did me some Biscoff truffles as well, which are amazing. They are the best.
Okay, well, you've got several of my favourite chocolates there. Right, shall we move on to the
we shall move on to the weather forecast. So for those that are looking out to go astronomy tonight, we've got a bit of cloud moving in from the northwest. It's going down south, but to the southwest, which is what is over me at the moment. That should, however, clear to give some clear skies north of England. However, further on in the night, there will be some cloud that moving in from the east, which will give some cloudy skies later on in the morning. Vicky's got a Caramac hat.
David Graham says that it's like Crichton's head.
So Saturday night is going to be more weather cloud in the east of England, southern England mainly, central parts. However, Scotland and northern England are looking the best for tomorrow night. That cloud may fizzle out in the night, but it may take a while as well. The jet stream is still over us. However, come Sunday afternoon into Monday, it is starting to make its way across the UK again, which is going to give us a bit of a change next week. We are going to have a colder air mass sweep southwards across the UK. However, we still have that high pressure not too far out near to Ireland, which is still going to give us some bright, dry spells. But there is a change to come next week in the world that we could see some snow in the midst. I know there shouldn't be too much. It is still going to be dry and bright, but maybe a bit more cloud for us as well. That jet stream moving, it's been our friend for the last couple of days. We've had some absolutely glorious days, clear skies, gorgeous sunshine. We have had some really clear nights, but if anyone noticed the other night, we had some Saharan dust and the seeing conditions absolutely horrendous here. That's why we've had a bit more red and the tint of orange as well in the sunsets with that Saharan dust we've had over the last couple of days.
Oh, Sonia, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Oh, I love speaking to you. You're my fave, and Eleni's my fave, and everyone's my fave. But it's really good to see you every week. And look how far you've come. This time a month ago, you were camera shy and dreading it, and you weren't even a member of the SPA. And now
I know, I can't wait. I can't wait for Friday to come along and just say hello to everybody and have a chat to you all. It's absolutely fantastic.
You're a real natural, Sonia. Thank you so much for all your effort. And on behalf
You're
of everybody,
welcome. And
thank
I'll
you.
keep everyone update next week as well as what's happening with the skies. If it's going to be cloudy, you'll know there won't be a forecast.
Also, yes, so Sonia, the minute there's a glimmer of sunshine, Sonia sends me over a weather forecast video and a write-up, and I upload it onto the Pop Astro
And
Facebook.
I'm sure they're getting longer as well.
Thank
Every
you.
time I upload, it's like, oh, that's a bit longer than the last one.
Oh, Vernon. Now, I did notice Vernon was finding your forecast useful. He commented on the one on Facebook. So that's really
but
nice,
how
Vernon.
accurate are they, Vernon? Please let me know how accurate. I'd love to know everybody's thoughts on my forecasts of how they are for if I need to improve or they're actually a good guess.
Oh, thank you, Catherine and the Ragdolls. David Graham, another Rip Roaring show. Well, we've got one last guest for you. You know who's coming up next, don't you? In fact, we'll get him on now. Where is he? You can say hello. Is he? Are you coming on? We've got a third guest now who's coming on. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. It is somebody who we had on a couple of weeks ago, and I enjoyed his company so much that I want him to come on as a regular. It's Liam from ISS Above.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Liam.
There you go. Oh, what a great show. I've been lurking in the comments, as you may have noticed, sort of sharing lots and lots of bits of stuff. But thank you again for inviting me on.
It's great. A pleasure.
Thank you, Sonia, for beautiful presentation there.
Oh, thank you very much.
I learned so much just by hanging out.
Yeah,
just like
it's
everybody
great,
else
isn't
does,
it?
too. It's superb.
Oh,
and in fact, any moment now, it will be sunrise on the space station, which is my thing, right? Tracking the space station. So, but if I can share a very special moment that happened just a little while before the show started, the space station passed by Bristol, by actually South Wales, and I captured the video of that.
Ooh.
But if you're okay with me sharing my screen,
sure,
I can actually share what that video looked like.
Let's have a go.
So does that sound good?
Yeah, sure. Go for your life.
All right, I will go for it then. I'm gonna here we go. Share my screen.
So just while Liam is doing that, Liam is the innovator of ISS Above, which is a Raspberry Pi device that plugs into all of your electrical devices, and you get the ISS on your fridge. Is that correct?
Yeah. You can plug it in anywhere. It needs a TV or monitor to do it, but I'll show you a few other tricks to allow you to have a lot of what ISS Above does. But I'm just sharing this.
How's my internet, people? By the way, I'd be really intrigued. I'd be very sad if there's dropouts, but what more can a girl do? Okay, so what's this we've got here, Liam?
It's been perfect. Yeah. So what I actually paused the video here at the moment, but what I want to show you, I'm going to scroll back. So this was recorded at 6:50 today, UK time. And what I've got here, it starts actually over on the west coast of Ireland. And I think everyone can see what I'm pointing to here. My mouse is highlighting, because you can see these live videos from the space station, but there's extra things available if you know what to look for. Now, 6:50, the sun is pretty low. It's leading up to sunset. I can't remember exactly when sunset was tonight. Sonia might have that off the top of your head. But if you can see here, this shadow is caused from the cloud that is here. So this is high-level cirrus clouds, probably. And you can see a very long shadow because the sun is a very low angle. Now I'm going to start playing it. Now, everyone may recognize this as being the rugged west coast of Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, we're heading over to the place of my ancestors. Well, actually, my mum and dad. My mum and dad grew up. My mum was born and raised in Tremor until she was about 4, and then they came over to England. And my dad was born in Waterford. So if I just pause this, that's Cork right there. So I have and this over here is it Dunedin or somewhere like that? And Waterford and Tremor is just right up here at the very top. But anyway, then we go across the Irish Sea to the Bristol to Wales and the Bristol Channel. So remember, this is just a little while ago. So if you're watching the live feed, you would have been able to see this. But so yeah, here's the southwestern tip of Wales.
Let us know if you are watching this feed and you see your house on this, please.
Yeah, there you go. What is it?
We'll try and
Swansea is
find it for
here,
you.
I think, and Cardiff over here. Western. So, and the other thing to notice, you know, when you see the stuff, you really do get to see some features, geological features. You know, this is the Brecon Beacons area, I think, right up here. But look at the actual ocean and the changing of it, where you can really see the silt coming down the Bristol Channel. So lots to see if you're looking out for it. So I'm going to pause it again. And remember, when it's playing, that's real time. That is the speed at which the space station passes overhead at 5 miles per second. So Bristol, right here, that's where one of my grandchildren is. She's sitting around right there, along with our son and daughter-in-law over in Bristol. Haven't seen them in over a year, obviously, because last time we were there was just before COVID hit. And then, yeah, Isle of Wight down this way. So, you know, I'm just really inspired by seeing views like this from space. When you recognize that what you're seeing is a place where there are 7 human beings hanging out right now, working. At this time of night, it's the evening for them. They actually live on London time. So, you know, if you ever want to know, are they awake or not? That's just think about what the time it is for you. And we're carrying on over here. I think that is now just that edge of the cloud there. That is France. And I'll stop it right there and stop sharing my screen and come back to the show. But I thought, how appropriate was that?
It's lovely, Liam.
That it was right before the show. And if you can bear with me sharing my screen again, I actually have something else to show you right now, which is a live view right as we're talking. And I'm going to do it. Here we go. So yes, you can access above. If you have a Raspberry Pi, you can purchase the download image. But even without that, if you remember the URL, which I've got up here, it's track.issabove.info. That takes you to this tracker that I built. It's running on one of my websites. And it's tracking the space station and giving you both live feeds from the station simultaneously. So I've clicked on the space station there, and you can see it's just about to pass over New Zealand. And remember,
good morning, New Zealand.
Yeah. Video feeds, they're usually about 30 seconds behind real time, and that's it actually only takes a couple of seconds for the video to come from the station down to the ground, but through internet delays beyond that, it's delayed about 30 seconds from real time. So the video on the left is the one that I captured that video from. Looks like it's a little bit cloudy at the moment below the station, but on this side over here, this is the other live feed, and it shows some views that are both from some cameras around the station. They can be inside, they can be outside the station. This one is obviously outside, and this one is pointed forward, and that's where the sun was just rising. That's what that very bright lens flare is caused by, as the sun is just up here. But the other thing I thought I'd mention, do you remember last time I was on, we were chatting about battery?
Yeah.
That was thrown away from the space
that
station.
thing.
It is actually on this tracker. I'm tracking this one as well. So you can see it's a fair distance away now, but it really isn't very much different in altitude than the space station. That's why it's going to take a they really just gave it a gentle push out and away from the space station, so it wouldn't be a danger to the space station on any future orbits. But that's where that is there now. And anyhow, I thought that would be an interesting thing to show you. You know, where it's heading out to right now is to my neighborhood. If I just scroll out a little bit, it's actually, so I live, so in about 20 minutes it's going to be above me.
That's crazy. Right above you.
Yeah, it just a little bit to my south, actually, when it goes.
Wonderful.
But,
Wonderful.
in fact, yeah, if yeah, there's some good views over New Zealand coming up in just a second. I'll switch to those in a minute. So I don't know how much time you
Sonia.
So I was just going to ask, so what sort of camera or video equipment do they use so that we can see these live videos from the ISS?
Yeah, so the view behind me right now is live. This is from the camera as it's going over New Zealand, and this camera is a Nikon. It's a highly customized Nikon D4. It's in a special pressurized housing. This one is fixed and dedicated just to this live feed. So this is permanently available. It's just a regular Nikon with some updated firmware that NASA built. I'm sure there's some special views down there. I bet people who know The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings know exactly where these areas are in New Zealand.
So good.
But yeah, so you know, it's pretty regular cameras. The other feed that I showed you when I was sharing my screen, that was on the top right of the tracker, those ones are from lower quality cameras. Those ones are usually, they're a bunch of standard definition cameras, and some of them are up to 25, 30 years old.
Wow.
But there's a lot more variety in the kinds of views. So
There's some pretty good storm clouds behind you now.
oh
Wow,
yes,
yeah, look at them.
oh there is. That's right. Yeah, yeah. Who knows what they're going to turn into? But so the width of the view here, it's about 180 miles, I think. It's very
Great
easy
stuff.
to calculate it. If you see this view, because it's pointed directly down, if you just count the number of seconds it takes for an object to go from one side of the screen to the other, and multiply that by 5, that's the viewing area that you've got. And I think it's about
Great.
180. They don't really change the zoom on this one. That's the only thing they can do. They can change the zoom. For instance, this is a pre-recorded video I've got behind me here. And you can see it looks as if it's going a lot faster, but that's simply because they've zoomed in. And it's exactly the same camera, exactly the same view, but they zoomed it so that you don't see the space station structure that's in the top right of the display there. So, oh, that's going over South Korea. I just remembered that's a little comet hit, a meteorite hit right there. Anyhow, oh, and this is when it's going over my neck of the woods. This is actually the Bay Area from space a couple of months ago.
Liam, thank you. This is pretty sensational footage. You'll have to get it going over my neck of the woods. They take some amazing pictures of whales
next
from the
time,
ISS.
yeah, Anglesey, I'll check out when that's available.
You should do personalized pictures of your hometown from the ISS.
Well, we may be able to do that. Yeah. So I can't. I'm not ready to mention the company that I'm working with to do this, but there are plans to get a commercial 4K camera system on the space station.
Wow.
And that it could potentially have lots of other capabilities for pointing and picking out areas, and hopefully we'll be ready
with that.
to mention that as that project moves forward. But it's very exciting to be involved in that.
Do you know, everybody, I'm sat on the most uncomfortable stool and my back is saying it's time to wrap the show up, I'm afraid.
Maybe you need to stand on your head and then
that'd be good, wouldn't it? Right? You can just watch my feet.
So sore then.
I would just like to say, Liam, thank you for coming on at such short notice as a surprise guest. We'll have you on again in a couple of weeks. Sonia, thank you so much. But I'm going to ditch the pair of you now. All right.
All
Have a beautiful Easter, friends. I'll see you soon.
Oh, have a lovely Easter, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye,
you, Liam.
everyone.
Bye. Oh, bye. Oh, sorry, I cut Liam off. Sorry, Liam. Didn't mean that. Right. The best thing is, I don't have to pack up and go home. I'm home already. Yeah. Do you know what a chore it's been for me for the past 6 months, packing up all this stuff and coming back home? Although, on the upshot, it has made me feel like I have been going out on a Friday night. Right. Great picks. Yeah, you've had your money's worth tonight. What money? No. Thank you so much for all your lovely comments, David. Great picks, Liam. They are, aren't they? Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Jed. I think that is it now. Thank you to everybody who's contributed. Thank you to everybody who shared the show. Nominate your pet for Astro Pet of the Week. I don't have a guest for next week. Normally, I've got guests lined up weeks in advance. If you can suggest anybody to me, please do. I'm especially looking for talented astronomical and space-related females to come on, and diverse people would be lovely, please. So feel free to recommend, and I can contact these people to get them on. Thank you, everybody who shared the video. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, SPA. Thank you, Wendy. Fantastic show as usual. Oh, yeah. Well, it wasn't really like I needed a holiday from very much, is it? Did I? Thank you, Tim, for your comments. Have we got Cosmo? No. I'm sorry. This is Cosmo. What am I on about? Right. How to make a Yorkshire man happy. Hey all, check out Astro NASA TV on Monday when Crew 1 gets in their Dragon and undocks and redocks to a different port. Thank you, Neil. That's really nice of you. That means a lot. Love you, Neil. I'll see you all soon. I'm going to switch off, and I only got to walk 3 paces and I'm back home. Right. The hardest chore this evening is going to getting all my indelible makeup off that I've plastered on for this show. It takes ages to get all the makeup off. Wearing a lot of makeup is very overrated, as I am discovering. 10 minutes in the bathroom scrubbing your face to get all this gunk off. But it has meant that I look radiant on camera. Great stuff. I'll catch you all later, popular astronomers. See you next Friday. Suggest me some guests. Send me pictures of your pets and share the video. Oh, I know. God, it's been creepy. Wow, it's scary out there. The only thing is, the weather on Anglesey is so bad that you just know that there is not going to be anybody lurking, because they just have to be really far gone to be waiting in a field in 90-mile-an-hour wind for me to get in my car. Thankfully, it never happened. Catch you all later. Speak to you soon. Thank you, Catherine. Give your little ragdoll pussycats a little chip from me. All right. See you all soon. Bye. Share the video. Oh, and most importantly, Sonia's waving in the green room. Bye, Sonia.
Bye. Give me a presentation for next week. If anyone would like a presentation on anything specific next week, drop it in the comments. I'll see what I can do.
Hey, everyone. Bye, Liam.
We're back.
Bye-bye.
We're going.
We're definitely going now.
Bye.